time the sun rises in one part of the world until it rises again on the other side. There are people of action around the world doing good, changing lives, giving hope. The sun never sets in Rotary. Service is bigger than ourselves. The sun never sets in Rotary. Thanks to you, we are Rotary, we are one. All these people who give a Rotarians, who engage with the youth, work with them. They serve those most in need, heal the sick, promote peace and polio and save lives. The sun never sets in Rotary. Service is bigger than ourselves. The sun never sets in Rotary. Thanks to you, we are Rotary, we are one. Thanks to you, we are Rotary, we are one.
It is a great joy to be with you participating in this initiative called The Sun Never Sets on Rotary, which for the 5th consecutive year allows us to celebrate our organization's anniversary through 24 online Rotary meetings around the world involving Rotarians and districts from more than 50 different countries connected through a single and common Zoom link. This initiative allows us to emphasize what Rotary International represents for the world: a legacy of service, leadership, collaboration, and innovation. And it's an opportunity to inspire future generations to join the service organization and make a difference in the world. So congratulations, my friends of The Sun Never Sets in Rotary, for this initiative and to organize the 24 online Rotary meetings around the world celebrating the magic of Rotary. 120 years has united us and inspired all of us to serve mankind.
Hi, I am Malcolm Halliwell, the District Governor for Rotary in Southern Wales, District 1150. We here in District 1150 have been associated with the Rotary Action Group for Peace for many, many years. The founding lead for the Rotary Action Group for Peace of Rotary Great Britain and Ireland chapter is also a member of our district. I am delighted to have this opportunity of welcoming you and of showcasing some of the work and scope of the Rotary Action Group for Peace. Enjoy You're the Sun Never Sets on Rotary, and we look forward to welcoming you again next year. Bye.
The Rotary Action Group for Peace Hong Kong and Macau chapter as a chapter in Asia for the RAGFP. The chapter has accomplished a great deal and made major contribution to mobilizing peacemakers in Hong Kong and Macau. We also accomplished in creating international leadership with P.P. Missy as director for the RAGFP. Much of the accomplishment was attributed to a strong foundation built with the prominent founding members, strong governance structure as a Hong Kong registered NGO, and an impressive board of directors that is made up of senior leaders in the district and club presidents. We believe individuals' active involvement is crucial to the success of any peace-building effort.
In this Rotary year, we have achieved remarkable results. Our chapter warmly welcomes around 40 Peace Builder clubs at the Joint Presidents' Meeting to acknowledge their effort and commitment in peace building. The Rotary Peace Seminar on Refugee and Positive Peace provides Rotarians with a peaceful mindset, strategy, and determination to advocate for the rights of refugees and asylum seekers. We are thrilled to join the RAGFP Asia-Oceania network of Peace Builder Clubs launch at the Rotary International Convention in Singapore. In addition, we organize the International Peace Party and welcomed guests from Japan, Turkey, and other regions. Everyone enjoys the fellowship night and celebrate cultural diversity.
The Peace School program aims to start early in classrooms, guiding children to embrace peace and walk the talk of peace. We use peace as a cross-disciplinary theme to support holistic learning. We support value education, global citizenship education, the capacity for building SDGs, cultural competence to live in the global village, and a service above self attitude. We connect all schools committed to these initiatives and goals. Our program also supports teachers' professional development and provides learning opportunities through seminars, workshops, and experience sharing, as well as connecting teachers with experts and partners from different fields and disciplines.
Peace starts with ourselves, living and linking our piece of peace.
Hello from Rotarian Smita Vikhankar. The Rotary Action Group for Peace India chapter was launched in March 2024 at the hands of Rotary International President Stephanie Urchik, RAGFP Chair Michael Hayes, and in presence of all RAGFP board members. The chapter board is a strong group of peace ambassadors from across the country. India is a land of unparalleled diversity, where over 1 billion people coexist amidst a tapestry of cultures, languages, and religions. This diversity, while a source of immense richness, also presents unique challenges for peace building. Peace initiatives in India embrace this diversity, recognizing it as a strength rather than a barrier. By fostering mutual respect and understanding, we can build a harmonious society where every individual feels valued and included. At the Rotary Action Group for Peace, we believe in the power of dialogue and collaboration. Our initiatives focus on bringing people together from different backgrounds to share their stories, learn from each other, and work towards common goals. Through workshops on emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, and cultural sensitivity, we equip individuals with the skills needed to navigate and resolve conflicts peacefully. These workshops are tailored to address the unique needs of different communities, from teenagers to senior citizens. Our projects range from community gardens that bring neighbors together, to interfaith dialogues that promote religious tolerance, to educational programs that teach the next generation the values of peace and coexistence. Peace is not just the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice, equality, and mutual respect. By embracing our geographical, cultural, and religious diversity, we can create a peaceful and prosperous India for all. Let us all join hands in building positive peace. Thank you.
Rotary International President Gordon McCallumley on Saturday, 13th April 2024, convened and commissioned the first Rotary Action Group for Peace Chapter in Africa. In an unprecedented ceremony attended by senior Rotary leaders and Rotarians globally, the Rotary Action Group for Peace Nigeria chapter was launched, with the mandate to coordinate Rotary's humanitarian efforts for the advancement and actualization of positive peace in Nigeria. Our vision is to help build a nation where peace and justice reigns supreme, while our mission remains to influence and ensure the optimal function of state institutions and to create an environment that nurtures communities and supports enterprise by activating positive peace in Nigeria. The Rotary Action Group for Peace Nigeria chapter operates a robust peace structure of national, zonal, state, and grassroots committees led by passionate Rotarian peace builders across the 6 Rotary International districts of Nigeria. Leveraging on our past years and experiences with an ambition to build on existing successes and deepen impact, the Rotary Action Group for Peace Nigeria chapter have articulated and outlined dynamic peace goals for the 2024 to 2025 Rotary year, which aims to reinforce Rotary peace infrastructures and establish positive peace clusters across Nigeria, build peaceful relationships, provide practical tools for peaceful living, and to liaise and partner with organizations advocating for peace and security. Our year's STAR project is a multilateral inter-district peace project that aims to address multiple root causes of violence, extremism, and social restiveness, especially substance use and drug abuse, cybercrime, intolerance, hate and violence, extremism, while mainstreaming women, youth, and disadvantaged groups. We seek the partnership, collaboration, sponsorship, and support of Rotary entities, Rotarians, and Rotary associates to actualize our progressive 2024 to 2025 peace goals. Please tag along with us on this life transformation mission and nation-building cause. Together, peace is possible.
The Rotary Action Group for Peace is the right arm of RI's peace programs. As a member since its inception, I was pleased to become the co-chair with Marcia Hunt of our LA Community Chapter, which we launched on June 6th with a welcome and greeting by RI President Stephanie. That same day, the Great Britain and Ireland chapter launched with us. We here in Los Angeles are proud, off and running with peace upmost in our hearts, minds, and actions. You'll hear a little bit about that now from Leanne, Lisa, and Marcia. Leanne?
The Rotary Club of Redondo Beach just kicked off our 100 Days of Kindness campaign, 100 Ways for 100 Days. This goes until November 9th when we celebrate 100 years as a Rotary Club. We've invited the entire community to post their acts of kindness on social media every day, and we invite you to do the same. It's an exciting campaign, and we feel this is one way for us to spread kindness and peace in the world.
Lisa.
We are excited about our plans to celebrate the International Day of Peace on September 21st. Locally, we will gather in person for a day of peace featuring Dr. Jane Goodall. The Rotary Action Group for Peace will have a significant role in this Day of Peace celebration as a presenter of the Harm to Harmony 2 concert, which will be streamed at the event and worldwide. This is an opportunity to share how music as universal language can move the needle and bring people together. Anyone can join in and be connected through this music beginning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on September 21st.
Marcia.
The Los Angeles Community Chapter will be having quarterly in-person meetings / get-togethers this Rotary year, and I am so excited about that. In addition, we will also have monthly online meetings, and all peace chapters from all over the world will be invited to our online meetings because as Rotarians, we are global citizens and we want to connect with our global chapters.
And if you are not yet a Peace Builder Club, we will be connecting you to assist your club to become one. Allison, would you please put up the last slide? And I'm going to send you that.
The Rotary Great Britain and Ireland chapter was launched on the 6th of June. We have around 20 founding members, each of them with a great deal of Rotary experience. Our strategic plan for the coming year is both modest and yet challenging. It's our goal for every district to have at least 2 Peace Builder clubs, and for each district to have a peace chair. The founding members will be available to make presentations to clubs in support of these objectives. I want to hand over now to Joel Weaver, one of our Positive Peace activators and a member of the chapter, to briefly take us through the 8 pillars of peace.
Thanks, Allison and Mary. Hello, everybody. As a peace activator, we were given this template when I was in training, and I think it works very well for a simple representation of how you can model the 8 pillars of positive peace in your own context. This is my own personal strategy, and we can send you this slide. You can clear out the bits that I have for myself and put your own in there. So basically, you could have this for your own strategy, for your club, for your district, or even for an individual project. Really quickly to review the 8 pillars, they are equitable distribution of resources, free flow of information, good relations with neighbors, high levels of human capital, acceptance of the rights of others, low levels of corruption, sound business environment, and well-functioning government. Again, this is a simple way that you can use the 8 pillars in your own context. Thanks, Allison.
So finally, I want to emphasize how important it is for Rotarians and clubs to be knowing something about peace. Rotary clubs are renowned for being well received by their communities, for being part of their community. We have seen some terrible sights over the past week or two of riots. Here in Wales, for the past 7 years, I, as District Peace Officer, have been working with the Home Office, Cardiff Council, and all other stakeholders to build a cohesive, resilient community. We do this by getting to know one another, by sharing of resources and expertise, by building relationships of trust and care. We have seen how this works in this country, where people have said, "This is not of us," where people have taken to peaceful marches saying, "We welcome all." There is much to be done. We cannot stop wars, we cannot stop riots, but we can stop hate, miscommunication, and we can build respect for one another. Thank you. I want to share with you something of the work of the Ukrainian chapter. It was launched very recently. The head of the chapter, being Dirk Lustig, a director of the Rotary Action Group for Peace, he shares that role with Vitali on the left and the secretary in the middle. These are the members of the various Peace Builder clubs and his founding team. Now, as you can see, they're numerous. So we're delighted to have so many Peace Builder clubs and individuals working for peace at this difficult time in Ukraine. So in Dirk's words, he says, "We are now building committees and we have many projects which we want to start. We need to consider mental health. We are grateful to the very helpful booklet to come out of the Turkey weekly meetings from Dr. Vicky Riddell, which helps in individuals cope and come through difficult situations. We will be very active in the healing process, starting with each individual, because we know that every single person coming through this war is affected. We know that peace starts with ourselves, self-healing, inner peace. So there is much to be done on our side. We too need to prepare for economic recovery. You will be aware of the hobby of myself for demining, which will be essential to the economic recovery. There's about 140,000 square kilometers that needs to be checked out for mines. Another project which has recently been started is a center close to the Romanian border where injured soldiers arrive in need of artificial limbs. We want to offer them another dimension, to offer a life perspective. We want to offer some vocational training where they could get online or in-person jobs. We're also teaching them to drive cars. Many soldiers arriving at the center have never learned to drive. So in the 3 to 6 months recovery period, we're able to utilize that time to train them to drive. Why form a chapter? Well, it helps us to make our projects more visible. We base our work on the great work done by the Institute of Economics and Peace and the 8 pillars of peace. We encourage all of our members to take the Peace Academy training. We too think that by connecting the PB clubs, we will have a platform to share ideas and to make bigger projects with a greater impact, something which is very much needed in Ukraine. So I'm sure you will all join with me in offering our support and our thanks to the Ukrainian chapter. Thank you.
Greetings, my name is Tom Carlisi, and in collaboration with the Rotary Action Group of Peace, I would like to introduce you to the RAG Peace Chapter Ohio, USA, through a PowerPoint presentation. First of all, I want to present again the RAG Peace Chapter of Ohio, USA. Again, welcome. I am the privileged to be the Peace Chapter of Ohio, USA Chair. I've been a member of Rotary Action Group for Peace for 7 years, and I'm privileged to be representing all 5 Rotary districts of Ohio, USA. You can see their numbers below. We're located in the state of Ohio in the United States. You can see it's oftentimes called the heart of it all, and the seal there, and is in Rotary Zone 30 in the Mideast portion of the United States. Our district Peace Builder clubs follow align with the RI 7 areas of focus you can see on the screen, and we will actually be implementing all 7 areas of focus in this year and beyond. We follow the RAG objectives to engage, educate, empower. Peace is in our hands as we enhance positive peace. What we do, again, we follow the Peace Builder clubs, form a peace committee. At least 2 members join RAG, either Rotary or Rotaract. And we follow their standards, including reading the RAG Peace Primer. And then we fill out the application form. We get within a week or so, we get a peace certificate for each club. And a brief history, I'm in Rotary District 6690, Central and Southeast Ohio. Since 2018, we've grown from 1 to 45 Peace Builder clubs out of 58. We're averaging about 8 to 10 clubs a year, and we follow a district governor 3-year succession plan. We were privileged to be chartered by RAG in fall of 2023, about a year ago, and privileged to be the first RAG Peace chapter in North America. If you go on our website, you can see some of the testimonies of the original 6690 governors on their 3-year succession plan. And here's a picture of the current Rotary District governors in our Peace chapter of all 5 districts in Ohio, USA. What we want to do is we want every Peace district is represented on our Peace chapter committee. The Peace chairs are included in our Peace chapter leadership. We work with the assistant governors to sustain and grow our clubs. And the Peace Chapter Ohio USA is featured at the All Ohio Pest Conference, which will be done annually. What we want to do is sustain and grow our clubs. 6690 will be over 50 clubs actually this year. And the other clubs, 6600, 30, 50, and 70, we'd like them to grow 5 to 10 clubs each this year. Enhance our peace skills through RI and RAG resources, implement peace programs local to global, and enhance with other RAG peace chapters, engage with them so we can share best practice guidelines and peace initiatives. Examples of growing peace is an Empowering Peace Builder program. You'll learn about this, starts in October 2024. Here's examples of Rotary Peace Pole projects done in schools or in community gardens. Here's an example of peace and action with young peace builders in an after-school program. Here's examples of peace and literacy all the way from Dolly Parton Imagination Library, 0 to 5 years, or the elementary school ages, the Elmer and Andy Ample Dumpling Adventure. And if you want to learn more, you can go on Rotary District 6690 website. We have the link there. You can take a snapshot of this later and how to get onto our website with all types of resources and links. And for more information, be happy to contact me or Mary Jane Shackelford, our 6690 Peace Co-Chair, for more information and or RAG. Let's build peace together through Rotary Peace Chapter of Ohio and all the other chapters in the world. Thank you.
Welcome to the Greeburn Effect. Your help is needed on Pax Terra. Pax Terra is home to 13 unique countries. Each nation has its own history, culture, and type of government. Over the course of 8 rounds, your job is to help the nations of Pax Terra deal with major challenges. At the same time, you must work to bring each country to a greater state of positive peace. You will not be alone in your quest. You must work together with others within the Greeburn Effect. You will have the following materials available to assist you. A guidebook of the nations on Pax Terra. Information provided within each round, and materials from your satchel. Before each round, when prompted, you will go to your satchel and find the correct icon. Inside will be an invitation to one of the nations on Pax Terra, as well as some exclusive information you will need for that round. You will then be guided to your nation. Once inside the nation, you will have the opportunity to learn a little more about the nation and the particular challenge they are facing. You and your team must help the nation solve their problem by suggesting decisions. You may make as many suggestions as your team can afford. In other words, you are given a set amount of resources, such as time, money, information, inventory and people, to use to solve the problem. You will have a limited amount of time to review all of the information and make your suggestions. Once your suggestions are submitted, the decision makers of the nation will accept them and the consequences of the decisions will be revealed. Some of the consequences may be good and help the nation move closer to a state of positive peace, and some consequences move the nation further from it. After the consequences are revealed, your team will have the opportunity to discuss the challenge, the results and how they can affect your own life. The Greeburn effect starts now. Mission failure. Mission failure. Please be advised. Nuclear meltdown will begin in 10, 9, 8. Great news, team. Your solutions worked and the crisis has been averted. Your collaboration and peacemaking skills have saved Pax Terra.
pillars of positive peace describe the attitudes, institutions, and structures that are necessary and useful for building a sustainable peace. We hope the participants in this process become educated about building sustainable peace, become engaged in building a sustainable peace, and we hope that they feel empowered at the end of this process to be able to go out and work to help build sustainable peace.
Working with a lot of students in this up and coming generation, and I myself being so close, one conversation that I commonly hear all the time is about the violence, whether it's violence that's seen, heard, experienced, whatever it could be. It is something that has become so normalized, and it is sad to see. A lot of these students are trying to grasp what is going on and how can we create this peace and how can we stop this violence and what steps can we take. And I believe this program is most beneficial by empowering these students and knowing that something can be done and helping them see these different steps that can be taken, whether it's stopping the spread of misinformation. And these different rounds will take you through all of these different experiences that replicate real life, and they can further understand that there's something that can actually be done, and creating this peaceful mindset amongst this world can happen, and it is possible. And so I'm super excited to see where this program goes because I believe it will have incredible impacts.
The program is specifically designed for young people to explore and know more about the 8 pillars of peace and how these pillars not only relate to countries, but to individuals. As the young people move through this program, they will have the opportunity to understand the ability of accepting the rights of others, but not only accepting the rights of others, but how they themselves should expect others to behave towards them. Far too many children and young people are suffering abuse in many parts of the world. Far too many teenagers are in unhealthy, controlling relationships, which limit their choices and freedom to develop and grow. This program has the ability to flag up these issues for those who participate, which might then enable them to grow their self-esteem and self-worth and know that they should expect the best and deserve the best.
I think the Greeburn effect came together so great because anyone from anywhere, in any time zone actually, can participate in this experience. And we were really aiming for maximum equitability. So it was developed in a way that requires no special equipment, no prior technical knowledge. You don't even have to be good at playing games, right? It simply requires a device that can use a desktop web browser and video communication, so mic and a camera. But there is nothing to download, no software or program to learn how to use, just basic website navigation skills. And that was done very intentionally. At the same time, though, it's still a fun, changing, interactive experience that progresses as the participants make varying choices. So they are faced with information and decisions, and they get to assess their resources, talk amongst their groups, and they'll see in real time as they click on different options how certain decisions are going to impact their team or their resource availability that they'll have in future rounds. So yeah, I am very proud to have gotten to work on this massive project, and I personally have learned so much just about what positive peace means and what that looks like. And I can't wait to see the change that the peacemakers going through this program are going to be able to enact and what that's going to look like back in their communities.
How does the Greenberg effect build mindset? This program develops comprehension and context around peace building. Peace is a verb. It involves action and can be learned. Here, RILA alumni are encouraged to use the tools and skills, their power skills they've learned in RILA, to solve the issues utilizing the 8 pillars of peace. Through strategic exercises, they experience problem solving on real life issues. Then they explore how their decisions actually impacts peace. I'm not aware of any other Rotary program that does this. This program helps the participant practice peace skills and cultivates a mindset for problem solving for peace building using the 8 pillars of peace. Just like learning how to ride a bike or playing a violin, practice, practice, practice. It gives them the ability to react quicker and more productively. Thus, when an issue arises, they will have the comprehension and context such that they can be more successful at peace building.
One of the most commonly asked questions that we receive is, how in the world are you going to keep these students engaged in an online format for days on end? We tackle that question in 2 ways. The first is our brain-based learning. We have spent thousands of hours researching, finding the best way to deliver this information to your students. Through our rounds, facilitation, and debriefs, they're learning how to implicate peace into their everyday lives without even knowing it. The second way is through our unique learning platform. We have over 400 unique pages for each of the countries and rounds, depending on the student's choosings. We also have 150 unique crate items that are the clues to the countries. As I was creating these, I started to believe the countries were real myself. Now, your final question is probably, that sounds like a lot. How are they going to handle this? We have a guidebook with over 40 pages of the different types of countries, their histories, what governments they have. We put this in a structured way that your students can understand it and navigate it easily, all while learning to become peace builders.
So I'm delighted at this point to welcome Michael Hayes, the immediate past chair of the Rotary Action Group for Peace and chair, along with Dirk Lustig, of chapters and PB clubs. And Michael himself is also a positive peace activator, among many other accolades, but that's what he's going to use today. And he's going to talk to us about how we implement or how we immerse those 8 pillars of peace in everything that we do in our Rotary clubs with community. So Michael, over to you, and thank you.
Thank you, Allison. It's a great pleasure to be here today and have the opportunity to speak. So you've asked me to talk about the 8 pillars of peace. I don't think we can talk about positive peace without first covering the definition of what is positive peace, and that is the attitudes, institutions, and structures that allow societies to exist in peace with themselves and with other societies. And so within that framework, starting with attitudes, institution, and structures, the attitudes, institution, and structures form the 8 pillars. The 8 pillars exist in each of our communities, whether that community is the Rotary Club that you're a part of, that community is the small group of people, or the community at large, the smaller community, or the greater organization, the country that you belong to. So you say, wait a minute, how does the 8 pillars of peace affect my Rotary Club? You know, I can understand how my Rotary Club should have free flow of information and high levels of human capital and good relations among each other, and certainly, based on the 4-way test, acceptance of the rights of others. But what about the government? It says well-functioning government. Well, if you look at a Rotary Club has to be governed well to exist. Okay, if your Rotary Club is not governed well, it's not going to operate and function as a Rotary Club. How does a Rotary Club avoid high levels of corruption? I've seen Rotary clubs where the treasurer absconded with all of the funds, and those Rotary clubs suffered and failed. all of the elements that are in the 8 pillars of positive peace exist in your Rotary Club and they exist in your community. And they all interrelate. It's not 8 independent pillars of peace, it's 8 pillars that are operating as a complex, synergistic organization. And you say, well, wait a minute, I don't really understand that. What does that mean? I had the opportunity to speak to a Rotaract club a few weeks ago, and we were talking about each of the 8 pillars of peace. And one of the Rotaractors said, wait a minute, in my country, equitable distribution of resources is a problem. Who decides what equitable distributions of resources are? And so we talked about it as a group, and we talked in terms of, for there to be equitable distribution of resources, first you have to have everyone respecting the rights of others. That's another pillar that equitable distribution of resources interacts with. You have to know that those resources are there, so you have to have free flow of information. You have to have a government that functions well to be sure that the equitable distribution of resources occur. If you don't have low levels of corruption, then you certainly will not have low levels of corruption. A sound business environment not only assures that you have equitable distribution, but you create additional resources for the society. Good relations with neighbors, all of that is required to have that equitable distribution of resources. And equitable distribution of resources relates to high levels of human capital because resources are the basic investment in human capital. So when you're looking at your community, when you're looking at what do I need to be working on, you need to assess where each of these pillars are in relation to what is an acceptable definition of well-functioning government, or an acceptable definition of acceptance of rights of others. Is the 4-way test requiring basic respect and human dignity for all, is that being properly communicated? I once worked with some people are curious why low levels of corruption and well-functioning government are separated. You don't necessarily have to have a corrupt government for it to be poorly functioning. I once worked with an elected official who had a small community that they really didn't like. And they said, well, until that community has enough political power to change an election, I'm not going to support it. I'm not going to help it. And so now you have an elected official saying, I'm not going to respect the rights of those other people. I'm not going to have good relations with my neighbors in that community. I'm not going to have free flow of information with that community. I'm not going to assure equitable distribution of resources to that community. I'm certainly not going to invest in human capital in the community. And so here you have an elected official who is not representing all the people, and I would hardly call that a well-functioning government. So you ask, what do we do? What do we do? And as a Rotarian, it's incumbent upon us to look at our communities, to look at what we need to be working on. Which of these pillars in our community need work most urgently, and what should we be working on? Each of us should always, I believe, my personal opinion, each of us should always be working on acceptance of rights of others, because the basic rights are one of the foundations, one of the most important foundations for these pillars to exist. But we need to be strengthening each of the pillars within our community all the time to assure that we have the strongest communities, the most resilient communities we can have. And in making those communities stronger and more resilient, we need to be vigilant to be certain that keeping that resilience in place and keeping those pillars in place is an ongoing and continuing effort. You know that you have reached the summit of this challenge when the people are educated, they have the resources, the investment in human capital is there. Everyone respects one another. We have great relations with all of our neighbors. We have no corruption, and everyone is empowered enough to help the government do the things that it needs to do to operate properly. So if we can get those 8 pillars functioning in our communities, and we can function well within those 8 pillars and bring everyone else in our community along with us, then we can build peace. So thank you, Allison, for the opportunity to speak today.